Connor McDavid is without a doubt the best hockey player in the world, and some will argue that he is the most skilled player to ever play the game. Yet, there are discussions that he could become the greatest player of all time to never win the Stanley Cup. Some suggest that he will have to leave Edmonton if he wants the chance at hoisting the cup, which at a glance would seem odd seeing that the Oilers have made 2 consecutive Stanley Cup finals. So how did we get to this point? Will Connor McDavid have to leave Edmonton to win the Stanley Cup? McDavid typically needs no introduction, but some perspective is needed on just how good he is. If McDavid keeps up the points per game pace that he has had his entire career, which is approximately 1.537 points per game, and he finishes his career with 1,487 games played, which is the same amount of games that Wayne Gretzky played in his career, McDavid would finish with 2,284 points, second all-time and only the second player ever with 2,000 points. In his 11-year career, he is a 7-time All-Star, 4-time Ted Lindsay Award winner, 6-time Art Ross Trophy winner as the player with the most points in the league, a Rocket Richard winner, and a 3-time Hart Trophy winner as the league MVP. He has finished in the top 5 in Hart Trophy voting every single season of his career after his rookie season, and might be winning it for the 4th time in 2025-26. However, early in his career, the Oilers were not a very good team, but that's expected of a team who had the first overall pick. But recently, they have made the playoffs consistently, making it in each of the past 7 seasons. That streak culminated in 2 consecutive Stanley Cup Finals appearances where they lost to the Florida Panthers both times. In the first finals loss, McDavid won the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP, becoming the 6th player to win the trophy while on the team that lost the Stanley Cup Final. He had 42 points in 25 games, with 8 goals and 34 assists, breaking Wayne Gretzky's record for the most assists in a single postseason, as well as becoming the first player in history to record back-to-back 4-point performances in the Stanley Cup Final. So that clears up one thing. Edmonton losing is certainly not Connor McDavid's fault. But why haven't they been able to get over the hump? A heavy criticism of Edmonton has been their lack of depth. Edmonton has relied heavily on the star power of McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. And in hockey, 2 superstars cannot win you the Stanley Cup without a proper supporting cast. And a great supporting cast is exactly what they've lacked. The most noticeable and most talked about lack of support has been the goaltending, with Edmonton notoriously being unable to find a top goaltender in the league. And with the dramatic failures of Stuart Skinner, Connor Ingram, and most recently Tristan Jarry, the goaltending situation keeps getting worse. The confidence in Edmonton's front office amongst their fans, as well as the rest of the league for that matter, is very, very low. Many don't have the belief that the Oilers front office will have any success in helping McDavid. So, with all these front office issues, many say he should leave Edmonton, and with each passing day, it looks more and more likely. But what even are the options? The team who gets McDavid would obviously need to be serious contenders immediately, but they would also need the cap space. At the moment, McDavid is being paid $12.5 million a year, and deservedly will have to be paid much more when he signs his next contract following the 2027-28 season. And Edmonton would obviously have to trade him if he doesn't want to re-sign, since you cannot let a star player walk for nothing. So there's 2 things that a team needs to get McDavid: competing now and plenty of cap space. I will be going over 3 of the most realistic options for McDavid to go to. Remember, a lot of factors can change that would impact this, so the most likely destinations for McDavid could be very different come next season. And for all of these teams, the most likely scenario to acquire McDavid will be a free agent signing after the 2027-28 season, as the price for McDavid in a trade would be sky high, and teams likely wouldn't pay the price if they can just sign him in the near future. Keep in mind, these are in no particular order, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. For the first option, we have the Dallas Stars. The Stars currently have only 8 players under contract after the 2027-28 season. However, all of those players are their core guys. Ottinger, Rantanen, and Harley are all under contract until 2033, and Jason Robertson is in the process of signing an extension as he's a pending RFA heading into this offseason. The Stars would have to rework their depth and get some good bargains on other contracts, but with only $65 million on their cap so far for the 2028-29 season, they can absolutely afford to sign McDavid as a free agent. Dallas ranked in the middle of the league in 5-on-5 scoring in the 2025-26 season, and as a team that has had trouble getting over the hump the past few years, I think McDavid could fix that quite nicely. The The Montreal Canadiens are a team that not even I would have had on the destinations for McDavid heading into this season. Yet, the Habs, at the time of writing, are in the Eastern Conference Finals with the Carolina Hurricanes. They are a young team who has now proven they can compete, who show an immense amount of drive on the ice, and have their goaltending in a very good position, with Jakub Dobeš looking like an amazing starter for the next few years. The only issue for Montreal is their potential salary cap. At the moment, their cap hit for 2027-28 is only $58 million. But with some important pieces pending a contract extension, the cap is up in the air. But if they can get bargains on those guys, the rest of their core is locked up until at least 2031, with Dobson, Hudson, and Slafkovsky being under contract until at least 2033. For our final option, we have the latest team to win back-to-back cups, the Florida Panthers. The Panthers' key pieces are locked up for a long time, with Matthew Tkachuk, Alexander Barkov, Sam Reinhart, Sam Bennett, Carter Verhaeghe, Aaron Ekblad, Gustav Forsling, and Nico Mikkola all under contract until at least 2030. They are likely to continue to be contenders, with the 2025-26 season possibly just being a bump in the road of a potential dynasty. At the moment, they have $30 million of cap for the 2027-28 season, which means they are contenders with plenty of cap space to accommodate McDavid and could possibly trade for him. However, their goaltending will certainly face issues. Sergei Bobrovsky will certainly not be at the peak of his powers by that time, and I'm sure McDavid would like to leave bad goaltending behind in Edmonton. Florida ends up a good option, but not the frontrunner. They would have to really pull some strings to acquire McDavid. So those three teams are the most ideal places for Connor McDavid to go to at the moment. As previously mentioned, things can change quickly. By next offseason, we might be saying that McDavid will finish out his career in Edmonton. After all, some will argue that he should stay, and it makes sense. Alex Ovechkin waited 14 years to win a cup in Washington and hasn't played for anybody else in his career, but some players waited very long and won the cup with a different team late in their career. Most notably, Ray Bourque waited 22 years to win the cup after playing 21 years in Boston before winning it with Colorado in 2001. But let's try to answer the question at hand in a concrete way. Should McDavid stay? And if he does, will he ever win the cup in Edmonton? Unless Edmonton pulls some strings and finds more depth, as well as their young players like Matt Savoie and Ike Howard performing, their prospects like David Lewandowski and Tommy Lafreniere becoming solid players, and got their goaltending situation sorted out, all within the next 2 seasons, then it would make sense for him to stay. However, if these issues don't get resolved, then it is most likely that Connor McDavid will have to leave Edmonton if he wants the best chance to win the Stanley Cup.